Yo, yo, yo. It's been 11 months. We're back. We're better than ever. Got some new topics today. Some new interesting things going on around the NFL that we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
yeah, I'll throw it to one of you guys. Why don't you give them a little summary of what we're going to be doing today?
All right, yeah.
So
Casey, you want
you
this
got-
or me?
you got it. You got it.
All right, been a little bit, but so we're gonna get into our playoff predictions. We're gonna get into the awards. The awards we're gonna be doing our MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year. And then we're gonna just a little sneak peek. We'll have a whole podcast out on our favorite prospects, but today we're just gonna be doing a little bit of our favorite prospects.
My favorite portion of what we're going to be doing today. Our favorite prospects. I've been watching a lot of college football. I'm more of a college football guy than Jaden. I know Casey watches some college football.
Yeah, I'm not a big
but you know, I'm really excited to see what my Raiders are going to do this year, and what some of the other teams around the league are going to do. And there's a lot of teams in interesting spots in the playoffs, in the draft.
You got teams like the Broncos that completely sold the future just to suck.
Hey, we have a first round pick this year.
Got a beautiful team and you got the Eagles who are amazing.
Like 28. We'll have like a 28 first round pick.
Pick 28 for the Denver Broncos.
And you got
the Seahawks on the second
the
pick.
Philadelphia Eagles, who are
garbage.
Can you remind me what the record is, Casey?
Are they 13-1 now or 12-1?
I forget. I think they're 12-1. But I just wanted Casey to tell me. I knew what it was because we're gonna finish off as Super Bowl champions, and we're gonna have a top 5 pick in the draft. I'm just gonna say it.
You think? All right.
But with that, I say we get into our playoff predictions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's jump into it.
All right. So let's start off with the first seed in both AFC and NFC. So first seed for me, I'm gonna go in the AFC. I'm gonna go the Kansas City Chiefs, and NFC obvious pick Eagles. Both are insanely crazy.
I agree,
but
those are my picks.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty straightforward. I think
honestly, I could see the Bills being the 1 seed still.
Yeah,
I could see it. The only thing is, I mean, I'd have to look at.
I'm gonna roll with it. I'm going Bills at the 1 seed. It'd be different.
Yeah, because
the only thing I'd say about the Bills is if you look at the rest of their schedule, they have the Dolphins. They have the Dolphins. Yeah, I know, but and you said earlier it was supposed to snow, so anything can happen in the snow. They drop a game.
Oh my God, that favors them. That favors them. Miami playing in the playing in the snow.
Miami. Yeah.
I think, but you have to think they have the Dolphins, which is going to be a difficult game for them. That will be an easy game. They have the Bengals in Cincinnati. Then that could have big playoff implications for seedings. And then they have the Pats.
I think that even if they come off a big win, against the Dolphins or come off a big win against the Bengals, I still think, there's 2 teams in the Bears and the Patriots that aren't going to be as good as the Dolphins or the Bengals. But, I think, they can settle or bench Josh Allen, something like that for one of the weeks. They drop a week and now, Mahomes and the Chiefs slide up a spot.
Yeah, the Chiefs also have a way easier schedule. They have the Texans, Seahawks, which may be a difficult game. The Broncos are winning that game, and then they have the Raiders.
Whoever wins tonight is winning the NFC West.
What's the game
that's fair to say.
Seahawks, 49ers.
That's good. That's gonna be a good game.
Yes.
I think with the Eagles is also a safe pick. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier, but I think the 3 of us are going to have the Eagles in the NFC.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to go into our wild card round?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait. Are we going like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for each spot, or do you want to go to the wild card right away?
I would just go wild. I would just say wild card. It gets kind of shaky in the middle.
Yeah.
For my predictions, I'm just going with the NFL, like the people that are in the race right now. I didn't make a whole thing. So with the first
I made a whole thing.
Yeah, Casey made the whole thing. I didn't. But I have the Bengals and Titans facing off. I think the Bengals take that one easily. I have Dolphins I have Dolphins, Ravens. I have the Dolphins. That's tough.
Well, here, let's go. Why don't we go one game at a time? You want to go one game at a time?
Yeah, here, hold on.
Just go around it.
Let's say like the 2 versus 7. Yeah, let's just go 2 versus 7 quick.
Okay, 2 versus 7 first.
Because that's the first game of the wild card. So right now, playoff standing. We're the playoff standing right now.
Chiefs, Patriots.
Because my predict for the 2 versus 7, I think the Chiefs would win that game relatively easily. My prediction at the end of the year, I think that the Bills will drop 2 games, and I think that will slide them to the 3 seed. And like I said, that game against the Bengals is going to deliver a lot of playoff implications, and I think the Bengals will end up sliding to the 2 seed. So, right, my prediction will be Bengals at the 2 seed, and then the Chargers at the 7.
All right. Yeah,
that's what I think will happen.
And this was Chiefs Patriots. I take the Chiefs pretty easy.
Yeah, I think Chiefs will pretty easily bump the Patriots out.
3-6 now.
Yeah, 3-6 right now would be the. Hold on, I'm trying to find the freaking playoff.
I have it up. It's Dolphins Ravens.
Dolphins. I think the Dolphins. Is it in if it's in Miami? Well, if it's not going to be in Miami, I think
it's Ravens. It's in Baltimore.
So it'll be in Baltimore. I think the Dolphins. The Dolphins beat them earlier in the year.
I still got the Dolphins. Lamar's going to be coming off an injury. They're going to have certain things kind of, all over the place. And although it's at home, I just think that that Miami offense is too overpowering for their defense.
I'm taking the Ravens in this. The Dolphins concern me going forward. I'm not going to lie.
Why do they concern you?
The Chargers
teams take away.
So the Chargers kind of figured them out.
When teams take the middle of the field away from them, they don't know what to do. They completely.
That's what the Chargers did.
Fell flat on their face against the Chargers the other
day. The other thing I had was they should have had like another 80-yard touchdown, but Tyreek lost it in the lights too. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, they should have had an 80-yard touchdown, but he just didn't see the ball.
Yeah,
so
but
I feel like it's gonna be a good game. Should be a good game.
Do you move on to the 4-5 now?
4-5. So Titans, Bengals.
Bengals. I have Bengals easily. I don't think we need to. Carter, do you have anything different?
I don't think that's going to be a tough game at all. I think Burrow and the Bengals will roll through them. I think Henry will have a good game, but I don't know. I just don't think that.
All right, 2-7 in the NFC now.
Vikings, Giants. But my prediction is sleeper prediction here. I think the Lions will end up getting the 7 seed at the end of the year.
I could actually see that. If I remade it, I would actually
Lions.
See that. The Lions.
Now, would you have the Lions beating the Vikings in that game?
Yeah,
no.
I would.
You would?
Well, they just did it.
I do not.
They just did it.
I think the Vikings will come out strong and then beat the Lions.
Yeah, I think if the Lions get in, great story, but I don't think that would.
The Lions' offense is so good. Their defense is really bad.
But you got to think about it. How good is the Vikings' offense?
They weren't good enough. They weren't good enough to beat the Lions this past week.
Well, Justin Jefferson also had a 70-yard touchdown where they said he stepped out of bounds and he didn't, and they ended up not scoring a touchdown on that drive.
Fair, but I think if the Vikings are a good team, I think against a team like the Lions, they should have pulled away.
Mm-hmm. You're right, but I think
the
Vikings would pull. I think the Vikings would win.
Yeah, but for my prediction in this, it's the Giants. For the NFL thing, it's the Giants.
I still think the Vikings come away with that against the Giants. I
think the Vikings would smoke the Giants. I'm not gonna lie. The Giants are really cold right now.
I don't think the Giants are that good of a team.
Saquon hasn't been playing well.
Saquon doesn't look good.
Yeah, their wide receiver core is horrible.
Who's their best receiver right now? Sterling Shepard.
Wan'Dale Robinson. Yeah, Wan'Dale
Wan'Dale, but he tore his ACL.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he tore his ACL a couple weeks ago. Now
he just got surgery. I just saw he just got surgery.
Yeah.
And
this
he went on like IG Live right after he got surgery. After he came out of ACL surgery.
It's Darius Slayton right now. Isaiah Hodgins has actually got a decent amount of.
That's good.
Yeah, but Danny Dimes, I don't think they're doing anything.
Nah.
Yeah.
Their offensive line outside of Andrew Thomas has not played well either.
Yeah.
I say their team is not good at all.
3-6 and this
3 versus 6, 49ers,
Commanders.
I think the 49ers win that game strongly.
I got the Niners smacking the Commanders in that game.
I could see I have the 49ers winning, but I see a world where the Commanders D-line just completely overpowers. I know they still have Trent Williams, but
yeah,
they don't have a great interior offensive line. The 49ers have a good they have good tackles.
McGlinchey and what's his name?
But their interior offensive line gets a little shaky at times.
Mm-hmm.
But
their defense is just so good. Their defense is so good.
Yeah.
That's where I think they'll just kill the Commanders.
The CMC Debo combination is just disgusting. It's like one of the most fun things I've ever watched.
I would say even then
even better than I think Ayuk's better than Debo as a receiver.
Who? Ayuk, well, yeah, as a receiver. But I'm saying in general, like they can do so many things with Debo and McCaffrey together.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I do think like as a pure receiver, I think Ayuk is better, and I think that's why sometimes you'll see him get more catches than Debo. And I think Debo is Debo playing this week?
No, he's out.
I don't think he is playing this
high
week.
Ankle sprain.
I think he's done for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, I think he'll be back wild card or divisional round.
So he'd play in that game, but I just think that they can, I like how they can do different things in the backfield with Debo and McCaffrey, and then they can also extend the field with Debo and Ayuk. It's an interesting offense, and Kittle obviously. I would hate to not mention Kittle.
Yeah.
So now we have the 4-5 seed, which would be in this Buccaneers Cowboys at the Cowboys easily.
Yeah, Cowboys would smoke them up.
Yeah, I think Michael Parsons gets after Tom Brady.
Yeah, I would say, but don't sleep on the Panthers to make a run at the division at the NFC South.
I don't know.
The Panthers have been playing insanely hot right now, and with their running game is extremely good.
Yeah, I like DJ Moore. It's just a matter of getting him the ball.
Yeah, they've won 4 out of 5.
All right, starting up with the divisional round, I have my 1 versus 5, or it'd be the Bengals versus the Bills, which would be 1 versus 5. This is a really tough matchup. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. I think it's a tough matchup for the Bills, especially coming in as a 1 seed. You got to play. You got to play the Bengals in the first round. It's definitely a tough spot for them. I still think they pull away with it.
In Buffalo, I give it to the Bills. Yeah.
So Bengals versus Bills, you said? I think. Give me a sleeper. I think Bills upset, or not Bills, Bengals. I think Bengals might upset.
I can see that. All right.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling Burrow has a little bit of a postseason magic left.
Seems like he does from last year. All right. So what was it? The other AFC matchup then? For me,
Kansas City versus
Baltimore.
Yeah, you're right, Kansas. Yeah, the Chiefs would smoke them.
Yep.
If it's Kansas City versus Miami, I think Chiefs will also still easily win. Although I think it would be a shootout, which would be like a 42.
Yeah, that would be a very exciting offensive game for sure.
Yes, it would.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the NFC.
Next game.
It'd be Eagles Cowboys.
So,
I'm rolling with the Eagles. I got to.
I think. Hear me out. I think Eagles will win. I think Eagles will win on December 24th in Dallas. I think Cowboys win here. I think the Cowboys would win here.
Maybe.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling they're gonna have one of those games.
I would say it's opposite. I say it's in Philly. The Eagles take it. I say if it's in Dallas, I think I'm gonna go Cowboys. I'll be a bit of an Eagles hater. I'll take the Cowboys. I think that defense is so strong, and I think Dak comes out and he pulls away with one.
Wait, didn't you say it's the opposite? If they're in Philly, they win. If the Cowboys are in Dallas, they
that's
lose.
the opposite. Well, that's but I'm just saying like I have to pick one. I'm just gonna take Dallas. But I'm not gonna. At the end of the day, it's a bracket. You have to pick one or the other. But I do think that if it's in Philly, the Eagles will win. But if it's in Dallas, I do have Dallas. Mm-hmm. I think, but I'm going to say I'm going to go
Dallas. In Philly, though. In this, it's in Philly.
All right, so Carter would have the Eagles winning?
I'd probably have the Eagles then, yeah.
I think that the Eagles run defense with Jordan Davis. Might I add?
Will Jordan Davis be back?
Been back.
He has been back?
He got activated against the Titans, which, might I add, is when Derrick Henry got shut down.
I would say Derrick Henry. He got shut down the whole second half last week. Not to get off track, but he had -3 yards.
Oh, yeah. Now we have Vikings 49ers.
Vikings versus 49ers. That's going to be a good game. I like that game.
I don't trust Brock Purdy going forward. I'm not going to lie.
I think
that's what scares me. If they had a quarterback, I think they'd win the freaking Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I'd have him as a Super Bowl favorite. Like if Lance, let's just say Lance never got hurt and he was playing, at least decent. I'd say 40. You're right. I would say I would have the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. But because they have a dude named Brock Purdy,
I probably have money with Jimmy G too.
No, yeah, right. That's what I mean.
I have the Vikings winning.
Yeah, and just because of that, I'll take the Vikings.
Guys' defense is so good.
I think the 49ers win.
I think the 49ers win. Their defense is so good.
I think CMC will have one of those games where he has 180 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
So you take the 49ers over the Vikings?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then now we have the conference championship.
So I have Chiefs versus who do I have? Chiefs versus Bengals. Ooh, I think.
And I have Chiefs Bills as well.
I'll just go first.
You go.
I think Chiefs Bengals. Bengals have been Chiefs kryptonite for the last 2 years, but I think Chiefs will pull this one out. I think they finally beat them in Kansas City and make the Super Bowl.
This is in Buffalo, Bills, Chiefs. I still have the Chiefs pulling it out. Their offense is too good.
You have the Chiefs pulling it out against Buffalo.
Yeah. Outside of Josh Allen and Diggs, the Bills' offense is not good. Gabe Davis isn't that good.
I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have three different answers for this. No, we won't because you guys both have the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
But I'm going to go Bills. I think that it's tough to cover Stephon Diggs. I'm not going to lie.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to go off. He'll have 2 touchdowns, and the Bills will punch the Chiefs in the mouth in Buffalo.
All right. Now we have 49ers Eagles.
I have Cowboys.
I have Vikings Eagles.
I have Cowboys. We have all different.
Casey, you got first.
All right. So I have Cowboys 49ers here. I think it is the Cowboys' year where they finally make the Super Bowl. I think they pull one out against 49ers because of Brock Purdy's inexperience.
All right, Carter, you want to go?
Yeah, so, I agree with Casey. I have the 49ers coming out last round just because of Brock Purdy's inexperience. So I just think that'll take them out a week beforehand. And, Jay Jettas and Dalvin Cook will have a big week. So mine would be Vikings-Eagles, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's tough.
In Philly.
Vikings-Eagles in Philly. I'm gonna go Vikings again. I'm gonna say the Vikings will get the Eagles in Philly. Now, if this is the real situation, I'll be an Eagles fan for a week, and I would definitely be rooting for the Eagles. But I'm gonna take Vikings Bills in my Super Bowl.
All right.
I have Eagles 49ers. I'm going with the Eagles. Our defense so good. Our offense so good. Our offensive line dominant. I don't care about Nick Bosa.
Best in the NFL. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. You don't care about Nick Bosa. Don't care about Micah Parsons.
Didn't care about Nick Bosa.
Every player relevant.
Darius Slay and James Bradbury have been crazy this year. We'll have C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, hopefully. We have Vontae Maddox back now.
The Eagles just scare me. There's some games where they play like crap, and they just scare me.
T.J. Edwards, the GOAT. All right.
He's so underrated. So crazy. He's so underrated.
All right.
Super Bowl time.
Super Bowl. I have Chiefs 49. Chiefs Eagles.
Chiefs Cowboys.
and I have Vikings-Bills. So I don't even have the Chiefs or the 49ers in my Super Bowl.
All right, so Chiefs-Cowboys, no surprise here. I think Cowboys' magical run ends, and I think Chiefs win this one, and Patrick Mahomes probably enters top 10 quarterbacks of all time. Just off that Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Jaden?
Okay. Eagles, Chiefs. Chiefs are really good. Not gonna lie. I think it'd be a shootout, even though our defense is a lot better than the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that our offensive line is gonna help. Is gonna open up the run game a lot. Give us time. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I'm rolling with the Eagles.
All right.
So we got Chiefs, Eagles, and I say the Bills hold out and they pull away and they grab a Super Bowl.
Josh Allen's first. Actually, that team's first ring. It'll be the Bills' first ring.
Yeah, the team and Josh Allen's first ring. I think Buffalo's going nuts, and I think two cold weather teams will be battling it out in January.
All
right. Let's get into our awards.
Award predictions.
That'll wrap up. Yeah, that'll wrap up our predictions for the playoffs. We'll do. We'll run through the awards. Shouldn't take too long. We'll run through the awards and then we'll jump into the some of the draft prospects. So you guys take it away from me. Go ahead.
All right, Casey, you did top.
I did top 3 at each position. Carter, I was going to let you know I showed you some Raider love here. I did show you some Raider love.
Let's go.
Let's start with MVP.
I think, no question, Patrick Mahomes. I think Jalen Hurts will end up a close second, but Patrick Mahomes has just been otherworldly this year, especially after losing Tyreek Hill.
I'm going to be a biased Eagles fan. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. 3,100 yards, 22 touchdowns with 3 interceptions.
I think they'll give it to Mahomes, but I would love to see Jalen Hurts win it. I mean,
if
you look at him, how much he's progressed from a year ago.
It's crazy.
I don't think that there's a question.
Progression has been crazy,
and I'll even segue this into the next. Not the next.
Patrick Mahomes is otherworldly.
I didn't mean with here, but I think Mahomes will win it, but I do want to see Hurts
to win.
I think they'll give it to Mahomes though, because
transitioning to he's just otherworldly.
Yeah,
he's basically a god. So offensive player of the year, I showed some Raider love here. Josh Jacobs. I have Josh Jacobs winning it, and then I have Tyreek 2, and then I have Justin Jefferson as a close 3. Josh Jacobs has just been so good.
He's been the best running back.
He's just been the best running back by far.
Yeah, and I mean, you watch Raider 1,000%. Games. You watch Raider games. They're giving them I'm a Raider fan. I don't like McDaniels at all. Or McDaniels, yeah.
Josh McDaniel.
McDaniel. I don't know why I said McDaniels.
Yeah. Because of the Dolphins coach.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Dolphins coach. That's why it screwed me up. It is Josh McDaniels. His name is Josh McDaniels.
It is?
Yeah, I thought it was
Oh, wait. Is the Dolphins McDaniel? Is the Dolphins McDaniel?
Is it?
I don't know.
It's Mike. It is McDaniel. Wow. Okay, so I had it backwards, right? Okay, so Josh McDaniels, the Raiders coach. I just don't like what he's been doing this year, like at all. He's done some really weird stuff. He's blew a lot of games. Some of the coverages have been terrible in certain positions. Like we're running, we're playing Baker for the first time, the Rams, and he has 2 days to study his playbook, and they need a touchdown to score. And we're pressing their receivers. It's like, what are we doing here? Our DBs aren't good enough as it is. Now you want to press them? But no, he's been a terrible offensive, a terrible coach, I should say, for the Raiders this year. And I think with that, Jacobs is being put in terrible spots, and he's running the ball amazingly. And I'm going to show my Raiders some love. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs too.
I have Josh Jacobs as well. 1,400 yards already is crazy.
Yeah, that's
he'll end close to 2,000. I'm saying.
All right.
Defensive player of the year. I think this is for me, no question. I think this as long as he just finishes out the year strong, I have Nick Bosa.
Yeah, I have Nick Bosa as
well.
But don't sleep on Max Crosby. That's all I want to say. He's at my 3 spot right now. He's most tackles for loss in the league.
Max Crosby. I wanted to give it to Max Crosby because the Raider love. I wanted to give the Raiders an offensive and a defensive player of the year, which would have been sad considering their record having an offensive player and a defensive player of the year, and you can't even make the playoffs. But no, I also have Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is just having an amazing season, and I don't think that I don't think that there's going to be anybody else that's going to win that award. So I'll go Nick Bosa for defensive player of the year.
Michael Parsons is close. I'd say Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I have Parsons at 2. I just think sometimes he is just off weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's times.
He's the best player in the league, or he just has an off week.
He's gonna have an off week against the Eagles.
For off.
I just want to say.
We
don't got to talk about that. Offensive rookie
of the year, I have Chris Olave, and then Ken Walker is close too. I just think missing it the last couple weeks for Ken Walker has kind of screwed him.
Yeah, I would have said Ken Walker. I really liked Ken Walker coming into the draft, coming out of Michigan State, and I really liked the way he played at the beginning of the season. I mean, I liked how he did for me in fantasy for a while too, but but no, I would have said Ken Walker. He's missed a couple weeks, so I don't think they're going to give it to him. So I'm going to go Olave too. But what I will say is, Jaden actually put me onto this. If you watch the Jets play, I think Garrett Wilson's going to have a huge year next year.
1,000%.
I think
1,000%.
Go ahead, Jaden.
I'm giving Kenneth Walker my rookie of the year too, but I think that I know people are on the Olave train right now. Some people on the Drake London train, even though the Falcons are misusing another one of their young stars that have so much potential. They're doing it with Kyle Pitts. But I think that Garrett Wilson, I think that coming in the draft, he was no question the wide receiver 1. He's so twitchy. I don't know.
Some of the plays he made at Ohio State were insane.
And I know that you got people I know we'll get into this another time. But I just think that Garrett, no question, the number 1 receiver coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Olave wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year this year just because Walker's hurt and Wilson hasn't been used. He wasn't used well at the beginning of the season.
Walker missed 1 game.
Well, he's projected to play this week, but he'll not be the same as he was before.
He'll have a down week because it's going to be his first week coming back.
The hardest run defense in the league.
Right.
I think we don't have to take a lot of time for defense rookie of the year. This one's extremely obvious. Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, he's been locked down.
Yeah, it's not a question. My biggest concern with him coming into the draft was, is he going to be able to transfer over? I know in the college football playoff last year, he was, people were looking like, oh, nobody caught a touchdown on him. He hasn't let up a touchdown. I'm like, all right, well, he goes to Cincinnati. Some of the teams he might be playing might not be as great as, SEC competition. And then he comes into the college football playoff and plays amazing in the college football playoff. Then people continue to doubt him going into the draft. And then he comes in on the Jets and is shutting NFL receivers down. I think it's definitely Sauce Gardner.
I think the biggest problem with him is he plays really physical and he does get away with a lot sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of holds he's gotten away with this year.
If it's not getting called, he's just going to keep doing it. Which
exactly
right. I mean, you have to. If nobody's gonna change anything about it, you have to just keep doing it.
Yeah. I think comeback player and
this one might. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I think this one might be the most controversial one so far. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like the top 3 for me. I have Saquon 1, Geno Smith 2, and CMC 3. But I completely understand the argument for Geno at 1. It would 1,000% make sense. I have Saquon at 1 just because of all of his injury history. That makes sense. I just have Saquon 1 just because of all of his injury history.
I don't know. I'm between Geno Smith's Saquon I like as a comeback player of the year, but he's kind of fallen off towards the tail end of the year. You can tell that he's starting.
He's still top 5 in rushing yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but a lot of that comes from beginning of the year. What was the stat? I don't think he's averaged over 4 yards per carry since week?
Since 4 weeks ago. It was 4 weeks ago.
Last time he was
had
week 10.
152.
Yeah.
10. But he either has an amazing week or a down week. There's no in between at all.
Could be up there if he counts because he was out for a decent amount last year.
But, a lot, yeah.
I have Geno Smith. I think.
Yeah, that's it.
The way he came in and really led the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I'm going Geno Smith. Who are you guys? I know Casey
started to fall off.
Yeah. I know Casey has Saquon. Recently. I have Geno. Jaden, who do you have?
I'm going to go with Saquon.
You're going to go Saquon too? So Saquon, Geno, Saquon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely controversial.
Now coach of the year?
I think although guys like these rookie coaches like McDaniel and even Dable, even though the Giants have started to suck, should be up there. I think number one undoubtedly should be Sirianni.
Yeah, I agree. But I think McDaniel deserves a honorable mention.
Yeah, I McDaniel
what he was able to do with Tua, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love him. I also think he's a character. He's such a character.
He is.
I know. Yeah. I also think Shanahan should be up there. Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, Shanahan's the fact that he's up there every year.
Led his team to the third. He's such a good coach.
Yeah, Shanahan's going to be up there every year. But no, I say Sirianni. Too. The way that last year they're kind of a middle of the pack team, and now they jump up and they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I think it's definitely Sirianni.
Yeah.
All right. So we're starting favorite prospects here.
Is that all? That's all for the awards, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we get to my little segment, favorite prospects. Jaden, I'm gonna make you, or you can go first with your case prospects for the running back that you adore so much. So I'll let you go in a little bit on your boy.
Wait, hold on.
Jahmyr
How many
Gibbs.
prospects do you guys have?
How
many prospects do you guys have? I have 4.
I have a bunch. I have like 20, and I'm not going to go into all 20, but
okay, I know
like 4 or 5.
I know Carter said that I was going to talk about the running back, but I want to start off with my favorite prospect in the whole draft, Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I yeah. The only reason I didn't put him down is because I knew you were putting him down. That's the only reason I didn't. I picked another wide receiver then, but we'll go into him.
In the draft, 6'4", 215, and he's going to run a 4.4, most likely.
Yeah,
so he's a freak of nature.
Reminds me a lot. There's sometimes I watch him and I'm like, this is. I'm watching Mike Williams with a little bit more yard after the catch.
I could see that comparison.
I saw that comparison on TikTok the other day. So I didn't come up with that one completely by myself, but
I do think though, like the upside on a 6'4" receiver that's going to run a 4.4, who has good hands. Like the upside on that
is like Megatron.
The upside on that is amazing.
Like Julio Jones. But
yeah,
one thing I will say with him, he does catch with his body a lot. And he's not a crazy fluent route runner, but he's not a bad route.
I mean, it's 6'4". I don't think your routes have to be perfect.
No.
You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between a guy who's going to be 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, and he's going to run routes. Even if he's fast, he's going to have to run them he's going to have to run better routes than a guy that's 6'4", that might, if you're 5'10" and you run a 4.4, and if you're 6'4" and run a 4.4, it's going to be a lot harder keeping up with the dude that's 6'4", even though they're running the same speed. It's going to be a lot harder keeping up with him. So I think, and especially because he's young, he's going to develop. I think they'll be able to develop his route running. I think they'll be able to develop his hands more and teach him, how to catch things certain ways. And depending on the team he goes to, if he gets into a team with a good quarterback or a young quarterback, I think that's when he can really flourish, because he's not going to have to worry about going to get some of the balls that might be there already, depending on where the quarterback's going to throw him.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to get into their next prospect?
Can I love this.
Yeah, go ahead.
He, out of Georgia, Khalil Ringo, cornerback.
Oh yeah.
Right now, he's
such a tough name. Such a tough name.
He's a beast.
Yes.
And he's running a like middle of the pack, like 4.35, between a 4.3, and he'll be 21 going into the draft. He'll be 21, and when his knock on his weakness is that he's too confident, I think that's just a great.
What you want out of your corners?
He's such a great. And not to mention, he's built like a safety.
I would say he is
He's a corner, and he's 200 pounds. 210 pounds. He's built like a safety, and he's going to be pressing you in a man. Again, another guy, depending on the team he goes to, he could go to a team and be their corner, their CB1 at the beginning of the year.
I would say, for my comparison for him, I have him as like a prime Patrick Peterson. I saw that.
He's going to be, but the only difference I'd say is
a lot of people are saying.
He's going to be bigger than Pat Pete, which is scary.
Yeah, he's a little, yeah.
And he's only 20 years old.
But right, he's young.
Same speed. Yeah, he's crazy.
All right, I guess I'll get into mine.
Yeah.
Do I go for a more well-known or a little bit of a sleep? I'll go for a more well-known to start mine off. This could be controversial, and I know it's not too far out there, but I'm gonna go Bryce Young just for the simple fact that I know a lot of people like Stroud better than Bryce Young, but I'm one of the people that like Young better than Stroud. I think that Bryce Young's ability to make plays when he shouldn't make plays is really going to transfer over into the NFL. And the fact that he never looks like he's trying to rush a throw. He could the dude's short and he's getting 6'5" guys running at his head, and it looks so effortless making throws down the field. He seems like he's always calm.
I would say he reminds me a lot of a prime Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Like Seahawks Russell Wilson.
The size is definitely there, yeah.
But he's just so calm under pressure. Like they're really comparable.
And he's not slow either. He's going to be able to get out of the pocket. I mean, as age goes on, depending, he's obviously going to get slower, but he's going to be able to get out of the pocket. He's going to be able to run and get first downs, and like I said earlier, make throws he shouldn't be able to.
Yeah. All right. Casey, do you have one, or where is it back to me?
It's back to you.
I think it's back to you.
All right. With here, I'm gonna go with two. I'm going with both the running backs, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs.
They're both amazing.
They're both really good.
Bijan is the best running back prospect since Saquon, I think.
He'll be close. Depending on his combine numbers, he'll be close to Saquon.
He's a beast. He's 6 foot. How much does he weigh? 6 foot. He's 6 foot 220. He has the size.
Yeah.
He has the production in college, which matters. And I just think that, I don't know, he's so good. And then you have Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama, who not as Bijan, but that's tough to do.
Let's not forget, Bijan can also catch passes out of the backfield. I know one of Jahmyr Gibbs' things, his biggest one of the biggest parts of his game is catching passes out of the backfield. A lot of people like to compare him to Kamara.
Yeah.
But both of the running backs both of them can catch passes, which I think is what makes them so good and what's going to make both Bijan especially so good in the NFL.
Yeah. Gibbs, the comparison over here is Kamara. It's 5'11", 200. And yeah, the beast.
Casey?
Yeah, they're both 20 years old too. They're both 20 years. They're crazy. It's one of the most running back class in recent history. So I went a little bit of I went an offensive tackle here. Watching this guy's film, he's a beast. He plays he reminds me a lot of Tristan Wirfs, Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. 6'6", 310. He plays both right tackle. He was almost an All-American his freshman year at Ohio State at guard, and then transitioned to tackle like Tristan Wirfs did. He's really good. Sometimes he can he's a really tall. He's 6'6", which for a tackle should be fine, but he's a beast.
I like that.
Yeah, Paris Johnson's definitely, in my opinion, the best tackle prospect coming out of the draft.
He's
it's either him or the dude from Northwestern.
Yeah,
it's either him or Skronce. I mean, Skronce's great too. I just think, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Paris Johnson.
I like the Olu Fashanu, but then he decided to go back to
to Penn State.
Yeah,
right?
No,
their offensive line next year is going to be really good.
Yeah, especially with Singleton and what's his name, Kaytron Allen. Their run game going to be crazy next year.
Yeah, I'll take my number 2 pick. I'm going to stay in Alabama. Again, another one that's not too far out there. I'm going to go Will Anderson. We haven't said him yet. I think we have to say him.
He's a
250-pound
really
edge rusher that's going to rush. He can use power moves. He can use speed moves. He spins left, right. Great tackler. He doesn't miss tackles.
He's a smart football player.
And he
can
smart,
stop the run.
Right.
He knows what's happening before the play even takes place.
And that Bama defense this year, in my opinion, was really, really good. And I mean, him being the focal point of their defense, creating so much pressure, I think he's going to be a great edge rusher in the NFL.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm going with one more prospect. Well, it's one combined in the two. I have Will Levis, and then these two come down if they go to the right spot. Will Levis, and then I have Anthony Richardson. If Anthony Richardson can get in the right situation, he has all the physical tools. It's the same thing that happened with Malik Willis last year.
I feel I could easily see both of them falling out of the first round. That I would not be. I also wouldn't be surprised if they both got selected top 10.
I think Will Levis goes top 10. A team I really want.
I definitely like I like Levis more than Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean that arm talent.
So do I.
That arm talent, that's not a joke. Like
the comparison,
you can't make that up.
Levis
and I know
at Kentucky, which is not a great. He's not getting these elite prospects like.
Right, he's not going to have as elite receivers as a Bryce Young's going to have, or as a C.J. Stroud's going to have in college, because he's going to be throwing at Kentucky receivers.
Like with Levis, you've seen the rushing upside back in, I believe it was 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, Penn State.
Yeah, Levis was one of my guys. I was going to say Levis. Levis was one of my guys. I really like Levis.
The comparison you always see with him is because with these project quarterbacks, all of them get compared to Josh Allen, but I really has that potential. And if a perfect, I really want to see him go to the Lions and sit behind like Goff for like 2 years.
He'd be decent there.
That'd be a good spot. Yeah, that'd be a good spot.
Too much more time, but
I wouldn't mind him going to the Raiders. I'm not gonna lie. Have him sit behind Carr.
Yeah, he'd be good. All right, so for my third prospect, I went a second-round projected grade here, but this guy is a physical freak. Trenton Simpson from Clemson. Yeah. I won't be surprised if he moves up draft boards. He's 6'3", 240, and runs a 4.39.
I love Trenton Simpson.
He is a beast. He started at Clemson since freshman year, and he is so good.
He was one of the top recruits in the country.
I don't know much about him. That's interesting.
He's one of the top recruits in the country at one point.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a beast. I also really like Jalen Carter. I don't think anybody mentioned it.
Yeah, the D tackle. I don't think anybody mentioned him yet.
He's gonna be a beast. He can stop the run, and he has pass rush upside as a D tackle.
I would say Trenton Simpson. He kind of reminds you of like another Clemson guy, Isaiah Simmons, when he was coming out of college. How good he was, and then or like a Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's really comparable to those guys.
Another Clemson guy that's really good is Brian Brzee.
I was just about to say that was my next guy. Or that was one of my next guys,
he's
Brian Brzee.
Yo, we only had one.
He was the number one recruit in the country.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I'll we don't have much time left. We'll end on a couple, maybe 1, 2, 3 more players. I'm gonna go to.
I have another good one. Then. Maybe
my favorite player in the draft. I'm not gonna lie. A sleeper. I'm gonna say Brian Branch, the safety. I'm gonna stay in Alabama. All three
Bama?
of my
Bama, another Bama boy.
All three of my players have been from Bama so far, but I mean, I'm looking at a stat now. Brian Branch, 136 tackle attempts. He's missed 2 in his entire college career.
That's crazy.
So, like he's going to be a good tackler. He's going to be a physical safety. I really like his game. I like how he plays. I like how physical he is. He was playing more of a strong safety. He rolling down to linebacker sometimes for Alabama. But no, I really like Brian Branch's game, and I think again, depending on the team he goes to, he'll definitely be in a good spot.
I'll say he's a second-round grade too. He'll be a beast. All right.
Anybody else?
Jaden, do you have one more? One more you could do? I have another dog. So I have another second-round guy that will 1,000% move up. Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee, the wide receiver.
He'll definitely move up. Yep.
He's 6 foot 185 and runs a 4.3, and he'll also be 21 going into the draft. He is a beast. He reminds me of a little bit of a Jameson Williams coming out of the draft. But
I think he's a little more
the
physical
only issue
than
with
Jameson
him
Williams.
is he only had 1 year. It could be. He also kind of reminds me of a prime Deshaun Jackson. You know what I mean? How good he was. But the only issue on Hyatt is he only has 1 year of production in college, which could stray teams away from him, even though they shouldn't.
Jaden, do you have any more? Because I have my last one.
We don't have much time, but I have one more that I just want to mention really quickly. Michael Mayer. I think that he'll be really good.
Yeah, I think he's the best tight end prospect in the draft for sure.
Yeah, I just want to mention him real quick.
And yeah, I'll end it off with, I have to show my UNC boys some love. I'll end it off with Josh Downs.
Yeah, I had him listed, but
he's not going to be the most physical player. 5'10", 175 pounds. But oh my gosh, are his routes clean? He runs some of the best routes in the draft, and he has some of the best hands in the draft too. I think again, depending the team he goes to, as a second, third option coming down the road, he could be very, very good for certain teams.
I would say he reminds me a little bit of Jahan Dotson coming out last year.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's exactly what I think it is. And Jahan Dotson, they don't. Washington doesn't have a great quarterback, but at the beginning of the year, he was exceeding a lot of expectation as a second or third receiver there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I think that'll wrap it up today. Episode 9 in the books. 11 months in, and we're back. But yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon.
I'll say we'll probably make an MLB one coming up shortly.
MLB one coming up shortly.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. See you.
All right. See you.
Peace.